Hey everyone, Theo here. Today I'm reviewing the XPPen Deco Pro Gen 2 wireless pen tablet. First of all, disclaimer, this is a review unit provided by XPPen. In this video, I just want to present to you my findings so that you can decide whether or not this is worth the money. Let me give you the bottom line up front. This pen tablet looks good and it works well. And this is the world's first pen tablet that supports 16,000 levels of pressure sensitivity. And this pen indeed is very sensitive. I actually prefer the design for the first generation Deco Pro, which looks more stylish to me, but this simple and clean design also works. Just make sure you get the appropriate size to match the monitor size that you have, because that will affect drawing experience, which I will talk more about later on. This pen tablet definitely has drawing performance that is good enough for professional illustrators. And now on to the full review. Let's take a look at the items included in the box. The artwork on the box was created by Shan Jiang, an artist from Shanghai who is currently based in London, and the art is amazing, so do check out his art, which I will link to in the video description below. So this is the pen tablet, and this XLW is humongous. That's the size, and everything looks very neatly packed in the box. There is one artist glove, warranty card, quick start guide, USB-C to USB-C cable, USB-A to USB-C cable. This is the pen case with the pen. That's the X3 Pro pen with 4 replacement hard nibs and 4 replacement felt nibs. That's the USB-A receiver for Bluetooth, and that's the ACK05 wireless shortcut remote. The shortcut remote uses Bluetooth for connection. However, if your computer does not have Bluetooth, you can use this USB-A Bluetooth receiver included. So the pen case has solid build quality because the exterior is just metal and it's matte textured. You can press here and the tray will slide out, and that's the X3 Pro pen. This pen supports tilt and slightly over 16,000 levels of pressure sensitivity. The big silicone grip is comfortable to hold, and these 2 side buttons are customizable. The pen tip has slight movement when in contact with the drawing surface. It's minimal movement. This pen is not powered by battery, so no charging is required. There is one eraser at the back. The build quality is solid, and this pen does not feel plasticky at all, and it has a nice weight to it. The hard plastic nib provides a nice tactile drawing experience on this matte textured surface, and if you want even more texture, you can use the felt nibs. By the way, this whole interior here is silicone. So this is the XPPen Deco Pro Gen 2 wireless pen tablet, which is available in 3 sizes. This particular one is the XL size, which is the biggest size, and this is 15 by 9 inches. There is the large, which is 11 by 7 inches, and the medium, which is 9 by 6 inches. So this is how big the pen tablet is compared to A4 size paper. The drawing surface area is actually larger than A4 size paper. And if I turn this vertically, I can fit 2 A4 size paper on the whole surface. And this is how big the pen tablet is compared to my 16-inch laptop, which has a 16 by 10 display. So in my opinion, the size of this XL tablet is good if you are pairing it with a monitor that is maybe 27 inches or larger. And if you are using a monitor which is around 15-16 inches to maybe 27 inches, I would probably recommend you to go with the large size instead, which is 11 by 7. And if you are using this tablet with a laptop, I would probably recommend you go with the medium size, which is 9 by 6 inches. This pen tablet is quite thin, And there is space beneath by the sides to let you lift the tablet up very easily. So here in front you can see this curve. This is for the wrist rest, and this is the full metal back. This is matte textured. The overall build quality for this pen tablet is solid. It's excellent. There are 6 rubber feet with good grip on the table. And here at the top you can see the USB-C charging port for the internal battery. The battery capacity is 3030 mAh, and the battery life is advertised to be more than 10 hours, which does not feel that long if you are drawing 8 hours a day. However, when the pen tablet is not in use, the pen tablet will go to auto sleep to conserve energy. At the top right is this button for power and Bluetooth pairing. This pen tablet can be paired to 2 devices with Bluetooth, and you can use this switch to switch between the 2 devices. I've just paired the pen tablet to the 13-inch MacBook Air with Bluetooth. To pair the tablet, you have to power on the tablet first, then hold down the power button for 6 seconds and the blue light here will flash, and then you can pair the pen tablet. If this light is red, it means the battery life is less than 20% and it's time to charge the tablet. Now, personally for me, this XL size tablet is too big for this table and also for my other table, and this size is also too big for a 13-inch display. If you want to have a good user experience, it's good to get the appropriate size for the display size that you are using. Let's see what you can do with the driver, and this is the macOS driver. There are also drivers for Windows and Linux. The pen tablet can be used with Chromebooks and Android devices. However, those Chromebooks and Android devices do not have drivers for customizing the pen and also the shortcut remote. So under work area, this is where you can map the drawing area on the tablet to your computer screen. I usually just leave this as default, which works well for me. This is where you can customize the X3 Pro pen. You can customize the 2 side buttons. Usually if I'm using a dual display setup, I will have one of the buttons set to switch monitor to let me switch the cursor from one display to the other. The other options here are the brush and eraser toggle and precision mode, which will move the cursor much slower to allow you to draw with more precision. And that's the pen eraser toggle. You can also input your keyboard shortcuts if you want to. The pressure curve can be adjusted by moving the 3 control points, and I'm pressing down really hard right now and it's difficult for me to reach 16,000 levels of pressure sensitivity. There is also mouse mode if you want to use your pen tablet as a mouse. Now, the shortcut remote can be customized with the same driver as well. At the top left side here, you can click on the arrow buttons to switch to customizing the shortcut remote. You can customize up to 4 shortcuts for the dial and use this button in the center to switch between the different shortcuts. By default, the shortcuts are set to zoom, scroll, brush size, and rotate. And rotate only works with Photoshop. If you want rotation to work with other drawing apps, you have to make sure that the drawing app you use actually has a keyboard shortcut assigned to rotation, and you can use that keyboard shortcut to enter here into the dialog box. Because if your drawing app does not support keyboard shortcuts for rotation, then you will not be able to use this to rotate the canvas for that drawing app. This shortcut remote has 10 hotkeys, and you can change the orientation of the remote. You can customize up to 4 groups of shortcuts, so in total you can actually get 40 shortcuts. And to customize each hotkey, you can click here to show all the hotkeys and go into the drop-down menu to enter your own keyboard shortcut or choose from the pre-programmed shortcuts. Now, if you are using multiple groups of shortcuts, you will need to set one hotkey to switch between the different groups of shortcuts. So in reality, you only get like 36 shortcuts, and one button is for switching between the different shortcuts. If you want to use 4 groups of shortcuts, you just enable all those shortcuts and customize them one by one. It is also possible to create groups of shortcuts that are specific to the app that you use. For example, you can create a group of shortcuts specific to Final Cut Pro. Once you have the app here, just tap on this and you can add the shortcuts. And to customize the shortcuts for another app, let's say Sketchbook Pro, just add it here, tap on the app and go customize the hotkeys. Being able to create shortcuts that are specific to apps you use is useful because those shortcuts will load automatically when the apps are active. Time for line test. The app that I'm using is XPPen Pro and I'm using the felt nib with the pen. For the first test, we will look at the initial activation force, and this is how thick the line really is. So I'm holding the pen like this from the end so that I can draw with minimal pressure. Let me just draw some quick lines to warm up. So I'm barely glancing the pen tip on the drawing surface. And this pen is very sensitive, so this pen can draw very thin lines even when a thick brush is selected. If I'm holding the pen like this, this is how thin the line can be. Anyway, you can adjust the pressure curve to make the lines even thinner if you want to. And now let me draw some diagonal lines to see how straight the lines can be. From what I can see, there is no noticeable diagonal line wobble or jitter. By the way, sometimes the ruler can actually add some interference when you're drawing straight lines like this for testing purposes. Okay, let me draw a quick line. Yep, so the slow diagonal lines are very straight. This is how the lines taper. They can taper quite smoothly and sharply. You can definitely use this pen tablet for hatching or cross hatching. Line transition from thin to thick and back to thin and back to thick and back to thin. This pen can accurately detect the changes in pressure even when you're using minimal pressure. Let's see if I can maintain consistent line width by maintaining consistent pressure. Now these are also diagonal lines, so I'm trying to draw as slow as possible. Yes, so I'm able to maintain consistent line width by maintaining consistent pressure. Let's draw some dots. Now the dots sometimes do not come out when I'm tapping the pen tip on the drawing surface, so the workaround is to tap and drag slightly. This is Clip Studio Paint and I don't have the problem with drawing dots. Tilt works fine. The cursor can follow the direction of the pen. So this is 45 degrees, this is horizontal, and this is vertical. So let's have horizontal strokes, vertical strokes. Let's combine the horizontal strokes. Let's spread out the horizontal strokes, combine the vertical strokes. All right, let me draw something really quickly while I talk more about the drawing experience. So this is a very sensitive pen. Is this pen more sensitive compared to a pen with just 8,000 levels of pressure? That I am not able to say because it's very difficult to compare 8,000 versus 16,000. Like, how do you actually compare? All right, I have actually tested or compared this pen with another pen with 8,000 levels of pressure, and I seriously cannot tell the difference. From what I can see, and feel, this is certainly a very sensitive pen. The brush that I'm using is Sumi, so this is a textured brush. And the experience with drawing with the felt nib is really nice. I can get the brush or the lines to taper very nicely. The lines always come out exactly the way I expect them to, so the performance is really predictable. If you are a professional artist, this tablet definitely is really good. I mean, it is definitely good enough for professional illustration. Okay, so that's how thick the line really is. And this is again the thick lines and the thin lines. I can control the thickness of the lines really easily. If I want the thin lines, I can just glance the pen on the surface and I can get those really thin lines. Okay, yeah, so the drawing experience is really good. It's actually very satisfying. I actually don't use the eraser on the back of the pen as much because it's just easier and faster to use the keyboard shortcut or the shortcut remote. I have a feeling the felt nib can wear down quite quickly because I'm not sure if you can hear the felt nib right now. Can you hear it? Yeah, there is a lot of texture, so the felt nib is likely to wear down quite quickly. So I do recommend you buy extra felt nibs if you want to draw with them. Okay, so this is just a very simple sketch. I did not experience any glitches while drawing this, and this is the same level of performance you can expect with other drawing apps. Let's take a closer look at this sketch. Let me just turn off the colors to let you see the line art. So this is the Sumi brush where it has a lot of texture. And you can see I am able to get the lines to taper quite nicely. And I can get the thin and thick lines whenever I want. So this pen is very versatile. It allows you to draw very expressive lines very easily. Let me turn off the shadows here. Yep. So the lines are able to taper very naturally. Let me use the eraser to erase this part here. Oops, too big, too much. Okay, done. The main thing that affects my drawing experience is just how big this tablet is compared to the display size. For example, if I want to draw a short line on the canvas, I will have to draw a long line here on the tablet because a long line on the tablet will translate to a short line on the display. And for me, this size can be a bit tiring to work with because I will have to move my hand a lot. Personally, for me, I prefer to use a pen tablet that is almost similar in size to the display that I have, or maybe have the pen tablet slightly smaller. This XL size is definitely more suitable for those who are using massive displays. By the way, the surface is quite susceptible to fingerprints, which you can wipe off easily. But if you don't want to deal with that, maybe you can use the artist glove that is included. So to conclude, this pen tablet looks good and it performs well. If you have the budget, I'm very sure you will be satisfied with its drawing performance. And if you are interested to get this, you can get it through the purchase links that I have for you in the video description below. Those are affiliate links, which means I get to earn some money, but at no extra cost to you. Your support helps me make more reviews like the one that you have just watched. Alright, see you guys in the next video. Bye!